Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We will study about descriptive text. It's a wonderful class. Okay, so what are in this chapter? We want to talk about descriptive text, and then we will discuss about grammar, to be and to have, relating verbs, opinion and fact adjectives, compound adjective, and then degrees of comparison, preposition of place, adverbial phrase, and participle phrase. Okay, so descriptive text. What is descriptive text? A descriptive text to be and describes a particular place. A descriptive text has the following organization. So we want to talk about particular place. So describe about place. Okay, so the organization is the organization first is identification. We want to talk about name of the place, location of the place, specific information about the place that you want to describe. And then B, the structures, the second structure about description. So description talk about quality and characteristic of the place being described. Yeah, so this is first paragraph. This is, you can add some paragraphs about quality and characteristic of the place being described. Okay, next. So in descriptive text usually used to have relating verbs, opinion, fact, adjective, degrees of comparison, participle phrase, compound adjective, and adverbial phrase of time and place. Okay, so we want to talk about grammar in action. So grammar in action we will use to be and to have. So for example, subject I plus to be am. So complement and avid reader of history books. So the sentence, I am an avid reader of history books. So in descriptive text we always use to be to explain about subject. So I am an avid reader of history books. And then the second example, the weather is very pleasant in Hawaii. The subject, weather, to be is pleasant in Hawaii. So we will describe about the weather. And then there is only one museum in this town. So we want to talk or explain about there is a thing in this town. We use after there is only one museum in this town. And then the buildings are magnificent. We want to describe about buildings by using adjective magnificent. So we will use are because the subject more than one, yeah, because using s in the end of the word, so we must use are after the subjects or plural subjects. Okay, next. And then to have, for example, the museum has 3 main halls. So if you want to talk about something that has a part, you will use after subject has if the subject only one. So the museum has 3 main halls. 3 main halls is noun or noun phrase. And then the second example, all the parks in the city have special wash bins. Okay, so all the parks in the city subject but plural subject, so we will use have. And then the noun phrase, special wash bins. So don't forget, has for singular, have for plural subjects. So this is the function to be and to have in descriptive text sentence. Okay, next. We will use relating verbs. So relating verbs involve states of being and having. They are used to identify something or identifying, to assign a quality to something attributive, there are the example of relating verbs. So we will use also relating verbs. So relating verb not only has and have, but we can use another verb like looks. Okay, for example, number 1, the museum has 5 halls. The parking area looks very clean. So looks we can use as relating verb and also has have. Okay, next another example. Oh no. The next explanation about descriptive text also using opinion and fact adjective. So sometimes we use more than one adjective to describe something. We can use both facts adjective and opinion adjective. Opinion adjective to go before fact adjective. When there are 2 or more adjectives, we put comma between the adjectives. So this is the structure. You will use article and then opinion and then fact and then noun. So it can be replaced, yeah. It can be replaced or it cannot be replaced because this is the real structure. Okay, for example, a beautiful silky dress. Okay, so article A, opinion beautiful, fact silky, and then noun dress. You cannot write a dress silky beautiful is wrong, or a beautiful dress silky also wrong. So this is the structure: article first and then opinion, fact, and noun. Okay, next example, an interesting young lady. Okay, N is article, interesting opinion, young is fact, and then lady is noun. An interesting young lady. So this is how to make fact adjective and opinion adjective. And then the last example, an expensive large round wooden table. Okay, so N is article, expensive is opinion, large round wooden is fact about the noun, and then table is noun. So what is different between A and N? You will use A if the opinion or adjective using a consonant in the beginning. You will use N, yeah, article N, if the word or the letter of the adjective is vowel. A, I, E, U, A, O. Yeah. A, I, U, E, O. E vowel, so vowel N, and then consonant A. Okay. Think you understood. Yeah, you have understood about this. Okay, next we talk about order of adjective. Okay, so we put adjective in this order. So this is about adjective. So if you want to talk about a noun that you want to expand about some adjective, yeah, you will use this structure. So the first is determiner or article A, and then D or D, and then after that determiner opinion, and then size, and then age, and then shape, color, and then origin, material, purpose, and noun. Okay, so this is how to arrange long adjective order of noun. For example, a beautiful old yellow German car. So you will put A as determiner, and then beautiful as opinion, and then old age, and then yellow is a color, German is origin, and car is noun. So you cannot say a car beautiful German yellow old is wrong, but a beautiful old yellow German car. The second example, the small rectangular wooden dining table. So determiner first, the, and then small is size, then rectangular is shape, and then wooden is material, and then dining is purpose, and then table is noun. You cannot say the table, wooden, dining, rectangular, small. Yeah, it's wrong. But the truth is like this. So you have to memorize this part if there is a question about how to order of adjective. Okay, you have to memorize this formula. Okay, next. Remember in action, we will use compound adjective in descriptive text. So what is compound adjective? Compound adjective is a single adjective made up more than one word. Yeah. For example, two-seater aircraft or free-range eggs. The words in a compound adjective are often linked together with a hyphen or hyphens to show they are part of the same adjective. For example, the building opposite to the bank is two-story shop. It means the shop has 2 stories. So a two-story here, it means compound adjective. You combine between two noun, two and story. Sorry, you will put together between two adjective and then story as a noun. And then for example, another example, the 5-bedroom bungalow has been mortgaged to the bank. It means the bungalow that has 5 bedrooms. So the 5-bedroom here is compound adjective. 5 is adjective, bedroom is noun. So the combination between adjective and noun is compound adjective. So this is the meaning of this or grammar. Okay, I think that's all. And then next, degrees of comparison. Yeah, I think you have already learned in junior high school about degrees of comparison are applicable only to adjectives and adverb. Yeah, so we will use degrees of comparison only for adjective and adverb. Some adjective and adverb gets their comparative forms simply getting er after them, and their superlative terms by getting est after them. For example, the basic word is hard, and then the comparative become harder because we put er, and then hardest for superlative because we put est. Okay, so hard, harder, hardest. And then for example, big is basic, and then bigger as comparative, biggest is superlative. In Indonesia, hard is keras, harder lebih keras, hardest sangat keras atau paling keras. So for a second example, in Indonesian, big besar. So for comparative, bigger lebih besar, biggest paling besar atau sangat besar. So this is the example of comparative and superlative. Okay, so the requirement of the example of this, if you want to add er or est, the adjective only for one syllable. Jadi kalau mau menambahkan er atau est, ini hanya bisa untuk kata sifat yang satu kosakata, ya, hard, big gitu ya. Jadi hanya satu pengucapan aja, satu kali. Jadi hanya untuk adjektif yang singkat atau yang pendek, like hard, harder, hardest, big, bigger, biggest. Ini ada satu silabus atau one syllable. Oke, lanjut lagi ke berikutnya. Next, the degrees of comparison are applicable only to adjective and adverb. Jadi some adjective and adverb get the comparative form by simply simply getting more before them and their superlative terms by getting most before them. Like I told you before, for one syllable or satu kosakata, satu pengucapan, we use er and est. So if the adjective is longer, lebih panjang, like beautiful, ya, jadi kalau kita ucapkan kan 3 kali ya, 3 kosakata, jadi beautiful. So we don't add er, but we add more before the adjective. Jadinya more beautiful for comparative, most beautiful for superlative. Okay, jadi more beautiful and most beautiful. Beautiful cantik, more beautiful lebih cantik, most beautiful lebih cantik. And then the second example untuk 2 syllable atau 2 kosakata pengucapan juga using more and most. Effective, ya, effective. Jadi 2 ya. Jadi ingat, remember, if more than 1 syllable you use more and most. Like beautiful 3 syllables, effective 2 syllables. Okay, more effective and most effective. Okay, jadi beautiful and effective tidak ditambah er lagi or est because we have more and most. More effective for comparative, most effective for superlative. Okay, jadi beautiful, more beautiful lebih cantik, most beautiful sangat cantik, effective, more effective lebih efektif, most effective lebih sangat efektif. Okay, next. Nah, jadi here is the comparison of the irregular adjective. Jadi ada yang tidak mengikuti aturan yang seperti tadi. We don't need to add er or est, ya, or more or most, ya, tidak menambahkan itu, tapi dia terbentuk sendiri. We call it irregular adjectives. Nah, maka for example, some of adjectives yang nggak bisa diubah dalam bentuk tadi, for example-nya bad, bukan jadi better dan baddest ya, tapi komparatifnya worse, relatifnya worse. Ini far, harder, farthers, good, better, best, little menjadi less, least, much, or many, more, most. Okay, less, least ya. Di jelek, lebih jelek, sangat jelek, jauh, lebih jauh, sangat jauh, bagus, lebih bagus, terbagus, terbaik, sedikit, lebih sedikit, sangat sedikit, banyak, lebih banyak, dan sangat banyak. Nah, ini pengecualian adjektif tidak mengikuti aturan yang tadi. Oke, jadi contoh kalimat untuk yang ini. So if you want to compare 2 person or 2 subject menggunakan hard misalnya ya, my bag is harder than your bag. Jadi setelah harder ini harus ditambahkan than setelahnya. My bag is harder than your bag. Nah, itu penulisan komparatif. Contoh yang kedua, my car is bigger than your car. Jadi jangan lupa untuk komparatif syaratnya harus than. Nah, bagaimana menggunakan hardest? Oke. Nah, kalau tadi kan ada 2 yang dibandingkan, sedangkan hardest itu dia yang paling or the most, misalnya di kelas paling pintar, paling cantik, paling gemuk, paling pendek, paling kurus. Nah, we use superlative. Maka aturannya adalah sebelum hardest and biggest ini we put the, ya, the ini adalah vertical. Jadi harus ada the hardest, the biggest. Maka for example, Susi is the hardest, misalnya my bag is the hardest bag in the class. Nah, jadi tas saya yang paling berat di kelas. Jadi the only one. Jadi nggak ada tandingannya. Contoh the biggestnya misalnya, my car is the biggest car in my town. Nah, jadi setelah subjek itu harus ada to be, ya, karena kan kata sifat. So subjek plus to be baru tambah adjektifnya. To be plus adjective. Nah, adjektifnya tadi yaitu harder or the hardest, harder than, hardest, the hardest. Oke, jadi intinya subjek to be baru nih kata-kata ini. Kalau pakai superlatif, pakai comparative than, baru superlatifnya the. Oke, gimana yang dengan yang adjektif yang panjang juga sama. Misalnya, if you want to compare two person by using comparative, misalnya, my sister is more beautiful than, tetap pakai than ya, is more beautiful than my mother. Jadi kakak saya lebih cantik daripada saya. Yang lupa superlatif menggunakan, komparatif menggunakan than. Komparatif tadi menggunakan the. Jadi sama polanya. So, my sister is the most beautiful girl in my town. Misalnya, kakak saya yang paling cantik di kota ini. Ya, kalau kita pakai superlatif. Oke, polanya juga sama tadi kan, subjek plus to be, baru plus adjektif, komparatif atau adjektif superlatif, baru objek berikutnya. Nah, untuk efektif, for example, apa ya? Using transportation more effective than by walking. Misalnya menggunakan transportasi lebih efektif daripada jalan kaki, ya, atau by foot. Ulang lagi, misalnya using transportation more effective than by foot. Jadi menggunakan transportasi tentu lebih efektif daripada jalan kaki. So if you want to compare antara jalan kaki dengan pakai transportation, gunakan more effective. Tapi kalau tidak ada tandingannya, pakai most effective. Misalnya the most effective transportation is airline or airplane. Jadi transportasi paling efektif itu adalah airplane atau pesawat, atau boleh dibalik, the airplane is the most effective transportation. Nah, itulah contohnya. Di Miss harap kalian mengerti ya, walaupun Miss nggak tulis contohnya because in this slide there is no example. Okay, I think that's all for degrees of comparison. Now we come to the next grammar in action, preposition of place. So in descriptive text also using preposition of place. Jadi preposition links noun, pronouns, and phrase to other words in a sentence. The word or phrase that the preposition introduces is called the object of the preposition. For example, apple is on the table. Yeah. So preposition is used before the noun. So you can explain where is the noun place. Jadi tempat benda itu di mana. So in this example, the apple is on the table, berarti apel berada di atas meja. So if you want to say in English, atas is on. So this is yang disebut, it is we call preposition. Okay, the second example of preposition, the boy is reading a book under a tree. Laki-laki sedang baca buku, sebuah buku di bawah sebuah pohon. So under is preposition yang explain tentang si laki-laki ini sedang di bawah. So this is noun. Ingat, after preposition is noun. Okay, preposition links nouns. Jadi menghubungkan nouns, bisa pronouns juga atau phrases dalam sebuah kalimat. Oke, itu fungsinya ya. Oke, next Preposition of place itu macam-macam. Kinds of preposition of place, ada preposition in itu artinya di dalam atau di atau pada, bisa untuk room, building, street, town, country, book, paper. Now for example, in the kitchen, in the London, in the book. Okay, next preposition at. Ini juga artinya di atau pada, maka fungsinya bisa menjelaskan next to by an object, ya, sebelah sebuah objek. For table, menunjukkan meja, atau place where you are to do something, typical watch a film, study, study or work. Dimana kalian sedang nonton TV, nonton film, belajar atau kerja. For example, at the door, at the station, at the table, and at the cinema, at school, at work. Okay, next, banyak lagi. So I think you can see in PowerPoint, ya. For the example, I can't tell you one by one because it's too many. Sekarang masuk ke grammar in action, adverbial phrase. So what is function adverbial phrase? Of time. Nah, di sini menunjuk keterangan waktu. Because in descriptive text states when something happens or how often. Misalnya kata-katanya for, since, in, one, by, during. Jadi for ini bukan untuk, ya, tapi artinya karena menunjukkan waktu, keterangan waktu. So for ini adalah selama, since, semenjak, in, pada bulan, on, pada hari, by, oleh atau menggunakan, during, selama. Jadi for bisa selama for 3 years, selama 3 tahun, atau during 3 years. Okay, so during the Dutch colonial era, example-nya, this city was well known as Paris van Java. Jadi adverbial phrase of time-nya ini during. Okay, then example, the building was destroyed in the Great Fire of London. Maka di sini yang menjadi time-nya adalah in, pada masa Great Fire of London. Oke, itu kita gunakan dalam descriptive of place. Oke, next ada lagi adverbial of place. Jadi states where something happen. Kalau tadi waktu terjadinya kapan, kalau ini tempatnya. So menjelaskan, begin with the words in, near, along, at, on, etc. Ya, jadi keterangan tempat, di dekat, along, yang seperti preposition tadi juga. Okay, this God's Island is located, jadi menunjukkan lokasinya between Java and Lombok. Adverbial place of place. The building beside the bank in the museum. Adverbial place of place-nya beside the bank. Okay, beside di samping, is located, berada di. Next lagi, juga dalam descriptive of text participle phrase. Jadi participle phrase itu adalah disebut juga present participle, can be used to replace a relative clause in the active voice. Ya, jadi kita bisa menggunakan kalimat pasif menggunakan verb ing. Jadi present participle ini sama dengan present continuous, ya. Jadi verb ing disebut dengan present participle. Contohnya, the house which is standing on the foot of the hill belongs to royal family. Rumah yang berdiri di kaki bukit adalah milik royal family. Jadi which is standing ini adalah preposition of place, maka bisa dibentuk menjadi the house standing on the foot of the hill belongs to the royal family. Jadi kita nggak perlu pakai which is lagi. Kalau sudah ada standing, maka langsung aja. Artinya sama. Rumah yang berdiri kaki bukit adalah milik royal family. Kalau ini pada aktifnya, kalau ini juga relative clause-nya gitu ya. Pada kalimat ini. Jadi nggak perlu lagi which is, but you can use the your house standing. Nah, ini disebut pelajarannya relative clause. Jadi lebih rumit lagi. So this only for making introduction for you. Jadi ini hanya untuk perkenalan aja ya. Oke, next Yang grammar in action terakhir, participle phrase. Participle itu adalah verb 3. Kalau tadi verb ing, jadi bisa juga digunakan untuk menggantikan sebuah relative clause in passive voice. Kalau tadi pada active voice, kalimat aktif, ini pada kalimat pasif. Misalnya, the Thames River which is situated between East London and West London flows to the sea. Nah, ini aktifnya berubah ke pasif, maka menggunakan past participle. Nah, sungai Thames yang berada di antara London Timur dan London Barat mengalir ke laut. Jadi ini ya. Jadi dia letaknya di antara, so rubah menjadi the Thames River situated between East London and West London flows to the sea. Jadi maknanya juga sama, sungai Thames berada atau terletak antara East London and West London flows to the sea. Ini hanya mengubah atau membuang which is, maka menjadi situated saja. Nah, ini untuk relative clause pada passive voice. Oke, sudah ya ciri-ciri bahasanya. Now we come to the explanation of descriptive text. Jadi descriptive text kalian sudah tahu ya. Ini purpose descriptive text itu to describe person, thing, or place in specific, or to describe particular person, thing, or place. Jadi menggambarkan sebuah seseorang, bisa benda atau tempat secara spesifik ya, atau describe particular person, bagian-bagian penting dari orang, benda, dan tempat ya. Jadi teksnya teks berupa menggambarkan sesuatu. Kita fokus pada place. Oke, jadi generic structure of the descriptive itu ada dua. When writing descriptive text, there are some generic structures actually not mandatory for our writing to be true. The arrangements is, jadi ada dua. Pertama, identification, contents about the introduction a person plus animal or object will be described. Di paragraf pertama itu menjelaskan isi dari sebuah tempat atau orang yang akan kita gambarkan. Jadi introduction, misalnya will explain about Borobudur. Borobudur Temple itu sebuah candi umat bla 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 berada di ini. Nah, itu yang disebut dengan identification. Sedangkan struktur keduanya adalah description. Ya, description itu contains a description of something such as animal, things, place, or person by describing its features, forms, colors, or anything related to what the writer described. Jadi isi dari paragraf berikutnya itu disebut deskripsi, yang berisi sebuah gambaran dari sesuatu, baik binatang, benda, tempat, orang, dengan menjelaskan ciri-cirinya, bisa bentuknya, warnanya, atau sesuatu yang berhubungan dengan apa yang akan digambarkan oleh si penulis. Oke, jadi description ini boleh more than one paragraph ya. Jadi paragraf pertama identification, 2, 3, 4 langsung description. Oke, I think that's all untuk penjelasan descriptive text. Oke, ini contohnya the Monash National Monument. So in this paragraph, the first paragraph is introduction, the second and the third is description. Ya, first and second are description. Jadi introduction-nya di pertama. Oke, you can read. Oke, nah di dalam ini sudah ada ciri-ciri bahasa yang tadi di atas. There is ada adjective, ada adverbial phrase, ya. Jadi tenses yang digunakan kebanyakan biasanya adalah present dan past tense. Oke, past tense karena bisa saja dibangunnya sudah berlalu, sedangkan present saat kalian menjelaskan or describe about the featuresnya itu, ciri-cirinya itu menggunakan present. Oke. So I think that's all for descriptive text because it's too long ya, sebenarnya ini sangat panjang materinya. And then after that you can do the task. The House of the Toraja. read 3 paragraphs of the House of Taraja and then answer the question. Esai ya, ada 5. Ini untuk K13, pengetahuan. Yang satu lagi, the second, complete the sentences by using degrees of comparison and change the bold adjective. So there are 20 sentences about comparative degrees of comparison. Please change the adjective yang the bold ini, yang dihitamkan, ditebalkan, spicy, hide, bad, expensive, dan lain-lain. Okay, so you change by using degrees of comparison. Jadi sesuaikan apakah dia komparatif kah superlatif. Okay, so number 1 has been done for you. Her cook is blah 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 spicy than my mother cook. Maka jawabannya apa? Karena ada kata then, maka jawabannya pasti komparatif. Nah, apakah dia pakai more atau er? Karena dia spicy, maka jawabannya spicier. Oke, nah, jadi inilah contoh dari nomor 1. Her cook is spicier than my mother cook. Masakannya lebih pedas daripada masakan ibu saya. Okay, untuk number 2 and 20, you answer by yourself and then don't forget to upload in your e-learning. I think that's all. If you have any question, you can text me by using WhatsApp or comment on the comments below. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.